Hey there, it's Kim Snyder from the Voice Club. Thanks for joining me for today's training. I've got a great question we're going to answer in a lot of depth. I have had this one before, but today's training is going to go places we haven't gone before. I'm going to explain why you're not what you think you are. So if you think you know what SATB is, or if you have no clue what I'm talking about, this is going to be equally valuable for you or you, whichever those camps you're in. Plus, I'm going to tell you how you can absolutely know what your voice can actually really do, because that's helpful information, right? I'm Kim Snyder, and I put this in here because I always forget to say this. I talk fast. This is going to be fast, just this. Down at the bottom, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff I've done. The important thing is that I'm a singer, like you. I've wanted to be a singer, even when I was a singer. I was traveling from 4. Look, I have a picture of me on stage, proof, at 5. But I just always wanted to be considered a singer. And then when I was considered a singer, I wanted to be what people considered a good singer. And I found through all of that all of us have the same questions, whether you're a professional singer, you've been doing it forever, or you are a shower singer. And no one's ever heard you outside of that environment. And who's really heard you inside that environment? No, but I digress. Anyway, we all have the same questions, and the answers are the same for all of us. So that's the good news. We're going to get to some of them today. And of course, SATB. Bass, tenor, alto, contralto, screeching high chick, whatever you think you are, I'm going to demystify what it does and does not mean for your voice, because honestly, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. All right, so I had an email. No, it was a post in this group, and somebody said I have a problem with identifying my voice classification. Sometimes I sing tenor in church. The other time I found myself switching to alto, even though I'm a guy, but I can't sing tenor or alto on my own because I got to have somebody to sing the part for me, and then I can sing it. So I'm going to tell you everything that you probably haven't heard before, because despite everything you've been told, being an S or an A or a T or a B or whatever else there is not all about you. It's just not. It's not all about me either. What it stands for, you might already know. It's okay. If you don't, it doesn't matter. S stands for soprano. A stands for alto. Tenor for bass. No, T for tenor, B for bass. Yes, I'm reading them. Speed reading is what I'm doing. Speed thinking. Now, we think it means different things than it really means, mainly because we've been told different things by people. So if you're a soprano, you say, oh, well, I just like to sing high notes. You'll come and people go, oh, well, you're a soprano. That's what you are. Well, I just like those comfortable, I don't know, just the easy notes, or I like to show up half asleep. And they'll be like, oh, you're an alto. That's what you are. You walk in, you go, I'm a guy. Yeah, so, and they go, oh, you're a tenor. And if you go, hey, I'm a man, and they say you're a bass, right? And you might have heard of other terms. There's a lot of other, well, not a lot. There's a few other little classifications in there as well. But what does it really mean to you, the singer? Well, it's important to ask questions. I was always that kid. First row, middle seat, hand up. Annoyingly, I can remember the teachers that hated that, and they were the bad teachers. Hey, I'm just saying. So always ask questions, and the one we can start with is, what can I ask to get the information, not so that I'm smarter than another singer, but what can I get to know what I need to know for my own voice as a singer? Because that's the most important information you need. You don't, unless you care about winning an argument with a bunch of people about vocal crap. I don't. Sorry. I don't. I just want to know how to sing better. I hope you're right too. So, question technically number 2. Who came up with this SATB thing, now that we know what it is? It was musical composers in the 1800s, not the singers. This is really important. Singers did not come up with this for singers. Composers came up with this SATB thing. Who was it created for? So in other words, you get these composers, okay, that's fine. What were they using it for? SATB is called, it's a voice classification system. And it was created by the composers to cover different positions in a composition. If I've lost you, it's totally fine. I'm going to bring you right back and we will be on the same track no matter what you think you don't know. You're going to know it all by the end of the video. And if you think you know a lot, I'm not going where you think I am. Almost science. If it does or doesn't make sense to you, I'm going to make it really what I like to call simple white chick simple. I am. I'm not a vocal pedagogy girl. Vocal pedagogy is the study of this and that and it. Voice stuff, right? I don't care to sit in the room and talk about big vocal terms. I know them. I know what they mean, but I just want to get to the stinking singing. So let's make this white girl simple. What does it mean in, my kind of talk? We're going to get an illustration. And the best one I come up with is a sport or a game. Now you should know I'm not a sports fan. It's going to become really evident, but that's okay because it just is the best simile that I can think of. I've been dying to use a grammar term. That's what it is. I miss grammar. Good old grammar. All right, positions. A position in a classification or, a position in a composition. What does that mean? Well, we know what positions are in sports. Hockey. I learned this when I found it. I looked this up. You've got 6 guys on a hockey team. Look, there's what they are. Right wing, left wing. So those are the positions. You got a hockey team, you got to cover these positions. If you're on a soccer team, evidently they don't have heads, they just have red shirts. And the wing backs are super important for some reason. Don't tell me what the answer is. I like to keep it a mystery. And of course, football. Don't even get me going. My husband's been trying for over 2 decades to explain it to me. I don't care. Look, I learned the teams and their home city, and I'm a Seattle fan because my husband is. Isn't that enough? I think it is. The important thing is we get what positions are when we think about sport. There are different positions in each game, and it's important that we have them filled. What happens if we don't? Well, we don't have a game, and the coach gets fired. And I hear that's bad in the sports industry. But if you're the composer and you're creating this beautiful composition, you've got all these positions, banks of notes that you've got to have covered. And if you don't have them all covered, you don't have a composition. So that's the only importance of SATB. Okay, well, if that's true, then what does that have to do with how many notes you and your own voice can sing? Absolutely nothing. This is the point. I did this video a long time ago about SATB. I think I've taken it down at this point. I sure hope I have. If I haven't, I put up another one years later. I couldn't find that one the other day. And then I answered it really good in the academy. But the problem was I tried to make a video to answer what I'm going to basically explain what I'm explaining today much better. And I got hundreds of comments, but they were all about, oh, well, I know I'm a tenor because of this. So I know I'm a soprano. And I'm like, no, I totally didn't make my point. So SATB, what does it have to do with how many notes you can sing? Nothing. So why do we think that's all that it is? Because forever, and I'm talking about many generations, they have been telling us that we, the singer, basically our identity is a, quote, position, an S, an A, a T, or a B, whatever the group is that best matches the group of notes that either we think we sing best, we feel comfortable with, or usually what they determine we sing best. Now, is this true? Yes and no. It's not true that that's who we are, but it is true when you look at who created the SATB system and what they created it for, which is why we answered those questions, because this sentence is absolutely true. If you are a composer that is talking about you as just one of the singers in their choir, one of the players in their game, then that's absolutely true. The singer is the position that matches the group of notes that they sing best, because if I'm a composer, that's true. Here's where this all goes wrong in many areas, but especially when we get to do with any kind of art that involves our ego, whether it's, like painting or singing or any of those things, because we get really personally involved. Here's my best guess. Years and years, even hundreds of years ago, some singer, this information gets out and somebody took it real personal And then as a result, they decide to make it into something oh, I know something. You are a this and you are a that. And that got filtered down through the generations. And now we're all just stinking confused. But here is the real deal. Voice classifications, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, yada, yada. There's contraltos and mezzo-sopranos and countertenors and blah, 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 whatever. Voice classifications were never created as a tool to tell a singer what they can or cannot sing, physically or potentially. It wasn't. It was just designed as a tool for composers to assign positions in their composition, which is basically just they needed players to fill the positions in their game. That's it. So guys on a team could play more than one position. They might have a specific skill or training that makes them better suited to one or the other, but it's not like a human being can only play one position on a sports team. Now, I don't have to be a sports fan to know that. That means you are not a soprano, you are not an alto, you are not a tenor, and you are not a bass. I think this is what I should have started that other video with. You are not one of these. What you are is a player. Yeah. I mean that more fun. Instead of I'm a contralto, you could say I'm a player and music's my game. I mean, I got to get my whole sass on it. That clearly was just simple white girl attempt at a sass. All right, so let's get back to what matters to us. What part do I sing in a group? And how many notes can I really sing if what I can do is not identified by one of those, quote, voice classifications? Well, here's the truth. Medical science proved decades ago that the healthy human voice, which is 98% of us, statistically they found, a healthy human voice used as we are designed to use it at birth, that means you came equipped this way when you started out, easily flows through enough notes to cover 3 or more of those musical classifications. That means that you should easily be able to look at any song that says it's SATB or SATB and the other voice classifications, all of them, and say, I don't know, which one do I like? Which one do I want to sing? It's not normal to be able to sing them all. There are a few anomalies, and it has to do with the very, 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 very 0.0 something percentage of people that have an anatomic abnormal. Now the word escaped me, but you got it. An anatomic thing going on that makes them uniquely able to reach. Like the guy with the biggest range in the Guinness Book of Records is like 5 octaves or something, and then clearly he would easily be able to sing all of these. Although. Oh, don't get me going on range. Oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. All I'm going to say is go to thevoiceclub.com and there's a pink bar at the top. It says, what is it called? The Ultimate Vocal Range Test. If you have not taken that already, go do that because there's an ebook with a bunch of information that will surprise you about that too. Anyway, I digress again. You should be able to sing 2 or 3 parts out of SATB. At least 2 of them should be really, really comfortable for you and be like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do that. But what if you're going, I could what? But that's like super hard. I can barely cover the alto. I've had this discussion for years. I love being in choirs. I love singing with different singers at all levels. It's kind of my thing. And so we have these funny conversations all the time. And I know every complaint you've ever thought of. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you're a professional or a shower singer. We all think alike and we all have the same questions. It all comes down to who is just real enough to say it out loud. So here's the thing. If it's hard, you are with the wide majority of singers. Singers have been finding it hard to cover more than one of those classifications or positions for so many generations. Literally generations, that some of them just accepted it as reality. The problem is, way back then, some of them started teaching other singers that it was reality. No. You see, you're a soprano, and I can tell you you're a soprano because I heard you do such and such. It doesn't matter what follows that part of the sentence. So I know you are a soprano. So therefore, you can only sing these notes. And it's not true. doesn't matter if who started it or how it got turned around in the centuries. The important thing is it is not true that it is not possible. Wait, that's a double negative. It is not true that it is, yes, that's true, that it isn't possible for you to sing more than one part. Technically, three out of 4 parts. On a good day, I can get 3 3/4. Okay, basses. Sure, I wish I had a recording of it. Yes, don't ask me, but I can get, on a good day, down about almost halfway down into the bass range too. So I'm just saying, I'm not that great of a singer, but it's in everybody. It's just the way it is. So of course we're going, so how? How is always the thing that follows why for me. If the human voice, as designed, easily covers all those notes, why is it so hard? Well, here's the answer. If your voice can't easily sing all the notes to 2 or 3 parts, and for most of my life, this was absolutely true of my voice, even when I was working as a professional, I would say for easily 2/3 of my professional career, this was true of my voice as well. And so, of course, I was told I was this, and I believed it, and I hung on to it, and I wouldn't tell anybody anything else because I was an educated singer. But the reality is this: if your voice cannot easily sing 2 or 3 parts, SATB, something has gotten in the way of how your voice was designed to work. Not because I say so, not because you're going through this training right now, because science proved it. Medical science proved it decades ago. I'm going to do a whole other training thing for you really soon on the exact historical breakdown of that. It's something everyone who likes to sing should know, because it'll really equip you to know what to believe and what not to believe and what to kind of blow off, so that you don't spend so much time. We're so hard on ourselves based on so much information that isn't even true. And that's not fun. So that's coming. But the important thing you need to know is that it is not anything you need to add to your training. There's nothing that, I've learned this and this, and I just need to learn one more thing. That is not the truth. The truth is what you need to know how to identify and remove what you've learned that has become an obstacle in the way that your voice is supposed to work, and ideally keep it gone. I've got this belief system that I can't seem to find in anyone else but people that are just singers. Not career teachers, people that are just singers, whether they're professional or beginner or anywhere in between, it doesn't matter. I have always believed that every singer has the right to access the information to know how to do exactly that. If my voice is capable of doing this, I should know how to do it. It should be as simple as learning, how a diet plan works and which ones are fake. And it should be something that not only works and works quickly enough that I can see it, but that I can see and understand the results for myself, not just have to blindly trust someone for, quote, 6 months or 2 years or whatever. It just has always been the way I've thought. We should be spending our time singing, experiencing the joy of singing. But after literally over 20 years of studying everything I could find and on the road experience as a professional in the studio, live, every genre of music except rap. I did that one funny rap video that was just to cover the genre. So I'm just saying, all of that and tens of thousands of dollars don't even get my husband going. I literally could not find anyone who either knew how to do it or knew how to do it in a way that anyone had a clue what they were talking about and could repeat it back. Mostly the very, very, very few who knew how to do it, even though they couldn't explain it a way that anyone could explain it back, had no vested interest in doing it because it was their livelihood. And that just drives me crazy, because while I am a vocal coach, I am a singer. I am a singer first and foremost, and that's all I care about, is how can we serve singers. So the only reason I finally created the Voice Club method is because of that. I didn't do it because I wanted to be a voice teacher. There's a whole story. You'll find it elsewhere. And the only reason that I finally put it into the Voice Club Academy is because literally singers like you There's a whole story that no one else has a background like me. I swear, I am the guinea pig for everything someone can do to ruin your voice, both teaching and medically. I have been through it, and I figure if I've been through all of this, the good that can come out of it is that I can turn around and show you what I've learned through all of those mistakes, all of learning the hard way for everything, and then having to suffer through the years saying I would never speak again and all that stuff. I suffered through all of that, I believe, so that I could help other singers. I hope I've answered the SATB question to death. But if you have any questions at all, of course, you can just post in the group. That's what I'm here for. So go ahead and ask me anything you want. Thanks for joining me for the training today, guys, and I will see you next time.